Okay, here's your wrap for the night, and if anybody's asking, this is a brand new fashion jersey that I got for a grand total of $30. Um, I was very lucky to find it through a seller that, yeah, it was used, but it's in very good condition, and I'm happy. So let's get to the review, shall we? Buffalo beat the Islanders tonight 5-4. The Carolina Hurricanes beat Washington 5-4 in overtime. Columbus beat Pittsburgh 7-6. Toronto beat Detroit 6-2. St. Louis beat Dallas 3-1. Colorado beat Minnesota in overtime 4-3. And Vegas shut out the Kings 2-0. Lot of goals tonight. Darlene had a goal and an assist tonight for Buffalo. Gooley had an assist tonight for Buffalo. So did Sobotka and so did Nylander. And Carter Hutton, 26 saves on 30 shots. For the Islanders, Devon Taves with 1 assist. Robin Leonard, 12 saves on 15 shots. Thomas Greiss, 9 saves on 11 shots. So again, I'm tracking shot totals for teams playing against the Islanders. Only 26 tonight, and yet they lose 5-4. So we'll see how this runs into the regular season, but this is starting to look familiar. And I hate to say that because it's a new goalie in there. It's not Halak anymore, it's Leonard. But the numbers look very, very familiar. Carolina got 2 assists from Foegele tonight, 1 goal from Zykov. Zykov looks like he's making the team, so does Foegele. Mrazek with 25 saves on 29 shots for the Carolina Hurricanes. Magna with a nice goal for the Capitals tonight. Got to give credit where credit's due, and Magna had a nice goal tonight. And Ovechkin had a couple of goals, and he's showing signs of being in mid-season form, but I'm sure that's not going to scare anybody. Holtby with 31 saves on 36 shots, and I have to be honest, Holtby's play in the preseason has not been great. Has not been great yet. So let's hope that for Capitals fans and for the team that he's able to get it in gear over the next 5 days. It's going to be 4 when he wakes up tomorrow. Pittsburgh and Columbus, this is a game that will drive coaches nuts. Ricola with 2 assists for Pittsburgh. Jari with 14 saves on 19 shots. DeSmith with 16 saves on 18 shots, which tells you that Matt Murray is probably going to play a lot this year. For Columbus, Panarin with 2 goals and 2 assists, so he is not allowing any of the contract talk to distract him. And Zach Werenski, 4 assists. They're going to need that while Seth Jones is out. Werenski's going to have to step up and be that key guy. And Bobrovsky, 23 saves on 29 shots. That's not a total that's going to make him happy, but you know what? They win the game and it's preseason and it's fine. And again, well, we'll see. Some of these goalies that are putting up scary numbers, we'll see how it turns out in the first week of the season. Although, most seasons, goal scoring will be really high that first month and it normally drops during the year. This past season was a little bit different. It dropped, but not by nearly as much as I'd expected. Toronto, speaking of goal scoring, I got the players on the wrong side, so I'm going to announce the Detroit guys first. Chalowski with 2 assists. Bertuzzi had 14 penalty minutes. Howard, 19 saves on 24 shots. Sateri, 4 saves on 5 shots. For Toronto, Levo with 3 assists. Brown with 2 assists. And Freddie Anderson with 23 saves on 25 shots. Bertuzzi and Kadri going at it. I'm telling you, these are 2 guys that, fans normally will hate Kadri, but I'm starting to think Tyler Bertuzzi, he's going to be a hated Bertuzzi too. I saw some of that tonight. That's why I noted the 14 penalty minutes, and I apologize for getting that next to the wrong teams, but the number's right. We'll see how this season goes for him. Is Tyler Bertuzzi going to do the same thing for Detroit that Matthew Tkachuk's done for the Flames? Is that the plan? Is he going to be that top 6 sandpaper? Is that where he's going to end up? And for Detroit, this was their, I believe, first loss of the preseason. So some pushback there, and you got to think that Howard's another goaltender that will look to put tonight behind him and get ready for the season to start. Believe they're starting their season against Columbus, so that'll be interesting right off the hop, right? Dallas loses against St. Louis in a game that had mostly the veteran players scoring, at least. Bow, though, was in net for Detroit or Dallas. 23 saves on 25 shots. Jake Allen, 21 saves on 22 shots for St. Louis, meaning Allen's back. So it should be Allen and Johnson. Husso gets sent down. So Allen with 21 saves on 22 shots has to feel good for St. Louis fans. Not only that he played, but he played well. Colorado, in their 4-3 win, in overtime, it was mostly veterans that got the points. So we'll just talk about the goaltenders. Hammond with 12 saves on 12 saves on 14 shots. Stalock 25 saves on 27 shots, which means Colorado had 41 shots overall. Grubauer saved 21 out of 24. For the LA and Vegas game, again, it was mostly veteran. On the Vegas side, the LA side, nobody scored, so I don't have anything really to bring up stats-wise, other than Jack Campbell with 28 saves on 29 shots. Marc-Andre Fleury, 26 saves on 26 shots. Has to feel good for Vegas fans that Marc-Andre Fleury is already rounding into form really early. It is really early, and yet it is clear that Marc-Andre Fleury is good to go. Boston demoted two notables today of Forsback, Carlson, and Zboril. Zboril, of course, was a first-round draft pick that was kind of expected to push further, and we'll see if he ends up getting called up this year. I expected Senyshyn to get sent down, but I'd kind of hoped that maybe Zboril would stick around. New Jersey sent Ty Smith back to Spokane of the Western Hockey League. New Jersey also claims D on waivers from Pittsburgh. D or Dia. It doesn't really matter yet. We're not looking at him in a game, but New Jersey's claimed him on waivers from the Pittsburgh Penguins. And it looks like Hedel, Brett Howden, and Lettieri have all made the roster for the New York Rangers. At this point, the New York Rangers look like they've got their opening night roster figured out, and those three guys have made it. At least that's how it looks. Entry-level contracts. So we're going to discuss contracts for a bit because I get questions a lot on contracts. So for people who've watched hockey for a long time, you can just stop here. For people who are newer fans of the game or maybe wonder how the contracts work, I did a little bit of research and I threw it up on the board here so you guys understand. If a player at the age of 18 signs an entry-level contract and they don't play a total of 10 games that year in the NHL, so the 9 games and then out, that's why they do it, so that first year of the contract doesn't get paid out. It slides to the following year. And it can slide for 2 years, providing that 18-year-old does not turn 20 before December 31st of the following season. If he signs his contract at age 19 and he turns 20 before December 31st or on December 31st or earlier of that year, the contract does not slide as well. But it can slide if he's born January 1st or beyond. So that's how entry-level contracts work. That's why guys get sent down to juniors who look, and you're thinking, why aren't he's ready? Because they don't want to burn that 1 year on the contract. They want to control him that 1 year longer. Restricted free agent deadline is December 1st, and I thought I'd throw that up there so that Leaf fans who might be a little bit panicked at this point about Nylander or curious, when does this become an issue? December 1st. Up until then, you can sign him, no problem. After December 1st, he can't play. So you've got till December 1st. If you can't sign him by then, it's going to wait until next summer. And it can get really contentious at that point. Now, burying contracts. So when you see a veteran guy get waived to the minors, for instance, the Buffalo Sabres did it with Matt Molson this week. They waived him, they sent him down. That gets you cap relief of $1.025 million. So it is the cap floor, which is $650,000, plus $375,000. That's how much cap space you save. Before this last collective bargaining agreement was signed, teams would send, like Wade Redden, send him down to the minors, and the entire cap would come off the books. And of course, the NHL said that's not a good system, that doesn't work. So they're giving cap relief, but not full cap relief. And maximums. So I talk a lot about contracts and this and that. You can only have 23 players on your NHL roster at any given point in time. That does not include anybody who's on the LTIR or IR. So if there's an emergency call-up, that doesn't count to the 23 players. And after the trade deadline, there's no max. It's sort of like in baseball when you hit September and you can just bring in everybody if you want. You're allowed to have a maximum of 50 contracts. If you go to Cap Friendly will tell you exactly how many contracts your team has signed. And you can have 90 on the reserve list, meaning, okay, we've got these 46 guys under contract, and these other 44 that we don't have signed, whether they're juniors, they're in Europe, wherever, we're keeping them on our reserve list because we reserve the right to sign them. So that's what that is. And then in the matter of trading players, and you hear about this, well, you can trade them with a retained salary. You can only have 15% of your salary cap in retained salary. You can't retain salary above 50%, which includes bonuses paid to a player. And you can have a maximum of 3 players who you are paying a salary to who you've traded to somewhere else. So there you go. Just a little bit of contract talk just for people who are newer fans to the game. And I do get told a lot that people who are new to the game find my channel to be refreshing and that I'm willing to discuss these kinds of things. And I try to make sure I incorporate that into my videos every now and then. So there you go. Let me know what you guys think about the action tonight that you saw or you didn't see. Who's excited you and not excited you. And I have to say, to Leaf fans, I will tell you this. You are every bit justified in your excitement about this season. You shouldn't have to apologize to anybody for talking about Stanley Cups, because this is the team that looks the most prepared to potentially win a Stanley Cup that this team has had in over 50 years. I'm not saying they're going to win it. I'm still taking Winnipeg to win it. But I'm telling you, Toronto absolutely has everything they need, because Ozhiganov on the blue line looks really solid. I watched him again tonight. Looks really solid. That's the kind of defenseman they needed. And if he's able to play, if Dermott can step in, there's no reason that this team can't win a Stanley Cup. So and I know, people try to bring up 2013 and other years, and the Harold Ballard years. This is totally different. This is a different team. It's a different management system. And I'm not saying that they're necessarily going to win. I'm not saying that I agree with Kyle Dubas on everything he does. But so far, it's everything he touches turns to gold. And the Shannon plan has worked to put Toronto into the conversation. And when they took over, Toronto was the laughingstock of the league. So we have to give them credit for that. And if you're a Vegas fan and you're excited, you're in luck. You guys have a reason to be as well. Carolina fans, I have to say, having watched a lot of the Carolina-Washington game today, I am nervous about Mrazek. I did think he looked shaky tonight. But if this team can score goals like that, and if Svechnikov can stay out of the box. I noticed a lot of slashes getting called tonight. There were a trio of the calls against Svechnikov. There were 2 against Ovechkin as well. So it appears that slashing is being called a lot again in the preseason this year. We'll see how long they continue that. But, yeah, Carolina fans should be optimistic right now. I think the team looks pretty good. Nichas looked good out there too tonight, and I don't have him on the board, but I thought he looked good. We'll see what ends up happening. Again, let me know what you guys think. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.